Hey, guess what? It's the live music showcase here on WMNF in Tampa. I'm Bill Dudley. I'll be your genial host for the next 55 minutes. We got our live music showcase crew, and we're videoing the whole thing live on Facebook if you want to check out the show. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a good show today. Go to facebook.com/LMSWMNF. I think that's right. Huh? Yeah, it sounds like what I said last. I don't have my cheat sheet here, so I'm winging it. Today on the show, Christie Lenee. She's been here a couple of times, 2 or 3 times on our show. The last time she was here was back in September of 2016. Christie, we're happy to have you back in the studio before the microphone.
Happy to be back. Thank you so much for having me, Bill.
Let's start off with a song, if you would, please.
Absolutely. Well, I want to send a little love to California, and I was out there back in June and did a Paul Simon tribute concert and arranged this song. So in tribute to California, I want to do this little Paul Simon song. It's one of my favorite tunes ever written, called Graceland. Shining like a national guitar, I am following the river down the highway to the cradle of the Civil War. I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. Poor boys and pilgrims and families, we are going to Graceland. My traveling companion is 9 years old. He's the child of our first love. Another reason to believe we all will be received in Graceland. Oh, Graceland. Graceland. She comes back to tell me she's gone, as if I didn't know that, as if I didn't know my own man, as if I didn't know the way she brushed her hair across her forehead. You know, St. Louis and love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody sees the window. I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. My traveling companions are ghosts and empty sockets, looking at ghosts and empty. Another reason to believe we all will be received in Graceland. Oh, Graceland. Oh, Graceland. There's a girl in New York City. She calls herself the human trampoline. And every time I'm flying and I'm falling, tumbling in turmoil, I say, oh, this is what she means. She means we're bouncing in the Graceland, Graceland. This Tennessee, I'm going to
Music from Christie Lenee, our guest on today's live music showcase here from WMNF.
Hello, Tampa Bay.
It's great to have her on once again. She's been on our station a bunch of times, and we're just happy to see her coming back to the Bay Area. And Christy, why don't you introduce your backup band here?
Over here to my left, my partner in crime, Mr. Jonathan Thomas on drums.
Hello, hello. The full band.
We're actually pretty excited because I've played quite a bit of gigs with JT and AKA Jonathan Thomas, and they've always been in a full band setting. And
A full band means like
full
bass
band,
and
yeah, bass, keyboards, saxophone, and it's very interesting because I've been playing all these gigs solo for many years, traveling around and doing a lot of gigs where I just have a foot stomper on my right foot and a tambourine on the left foot. And it occurred to me recently, I was like, man, if I'm going to do more gigs like this, it'd be cool if I could just have a percussionist who could do that, and it would free up my feet so that I could actually dance around and not be inhibited by my paddleboard.
Well, you are wearing your foot tambourine,
Well,
I see.
I'm going to tap my foot anyway, so I might as well have it amplified. I'm really happy to have JT. This is our first time ever doing anything in a duo setting, and it's been fun. We just
A lot
sort
of fun.
Yeah.
So JT, are you a certified percussionist, or you a multi-instrumentalist?
I would not qualify myself as a certified percussionist, mainly just a drum set player. This is a creative process that we're doing here.
Yeah, I said, hey man, do you think you can do this gig with me and just sit on a cajon and maybe have a couple shakers or something like that? And he's like, well, I don't really do that, but sure.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
I guess he's a quick study. Sounds really good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
why not?
Christy Lenee, our guest. Now you're going to be appearing in the Bay Area. What's your gig here?
Oh yeah, so this Sunday we're going to be doing a show at the Strad Center of Performing Arts in Jabe Theater.
Jabe.
Yeah, I love that theater. I actually did my CD release party there 2 years ago.
Okay.
And for the album Stay. And I'm so happy to be back there. And since it is just the Sunday before Thanksgiving, we're doing a food drive in partnership with Metropolitan Ministries. We're collecting non-perishable items, clothes, toys, and hygiene products, and hoping to contribute a lot to the community right around the holidays and support our families and friends to make sure everybody has a good Thanksgiving. So if you guys come to the show Sunday at the Strads, please bring some stuff to contribute. A lot of us, I actually just moved recently, and we all often realize how much more we have than we actually need. So it's kind of nice to pass it on to somebody who really needs it sometimes, and we'll appreciate all of your contributions. So that's at 7:30 this Sunday at the Strads.
All right. Do us another song.
Absolutely. Well, this is the newest instrumental piece I've written. It's on my new guitar. This is a Maton 12-string, and it has this very Egyptian feeling, so we're calling it Cleopatra's Eyes. One, two, three, go!
Christie Lenee playing a 12-string guitar. What's that tuned to?
Good question. That is
Open something.
It's an open G sus. Very holy tuning. It is.
Just play it open one time so we can hear the.
It has the fifth on the bottom. It's a low D, and then G D G A D.
Wow. Very mysterious.
It is a very mysterious tuning. I use this tuning a lot, and will shift it to where I'll take the D and I'll move it down to a C. So you've got, now we have C, G, D, G, A, D. And then when you put a capo on it, then you get these some really beautiful sounds. Yeah, so this guitar actually is a Maton. It's made in Australia. And these guitars have breakthrough technology of a pickup system. It's really insane when you plug it into a live sound system and go like this. It will just resonate through the entire room and actually come through.
That's what the world has been looking for all these years, is a guitar pickup that sounds like the guitar.
Yeah, and
that's what everybody wants, you know.
Yeah, and they really did it on this, so I'm very grateful for that.
Christie Lenee is our guest on today's Live Music Showcase, folks, from WMNF in Tampa. I'd like to shout out, thank you to our great LMS crew. And if you're watching it on Facebook right now, Facebook Live at LMS WMNF, you'll be happy to know that Bob Hoke is directing the program. And today on cameras we have Yvonne Gougelet, Marcy Connors, and Larry Lockdown on the cameras. And Richard Stone is our YouTube producer. This whole show will be on YouTube tomorrow morning or later on this evening. Steve Arduango is our show producer, and the audio version of this show is being mixed up by Mark Perfetti, the great Live Music Showcase crew. And we're happy to have him here. So you are the winner of the International Fingerstyle Guitar Championship. What's up with that? 2017.
Yeah, well, it was actually really a funny thing that happened. My manager says, "Oh, I've entered you into the 2017 International Fingerstyle Guitar Championship." I was like, "Wow, that sounds interesting. Where is it?" And she says, "Kansas." And I'm like, "Kansas? Interesting. Okay." And she says, "Yeah, you'll go and you'll win." And I was like, "I will."
There's the kind of positive stuff you need, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, "I will." And so, I felt all this pressure for a little while. I was like trying to figure out what I'm going to play and all this stuff. And then at one point I decided, you know what, I'm going to let go of all this thinking that I'm going to win. And I'm going to shift what was in my mind of winning, which was getting in first place, shift that into a feeling of winning, at which I redefined as to show up and do the best that I possibly could. I wanted to know that I walked off that stage and I had prepared the best that I could, that I felt good about my performance, and to know that I was going to go in there with a completely open mind and hopefully learn a lot. And what that did was it lit a fire under me to practice like a crazy woman. And I did take home first place, and it was a very humbling experience. A lot of great guitar players there.
Yeah. Are you later on in the show? You're gonna do your first place tune?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll be waiting for that.
Well, we could, now that we're talking about it, if you want, I can do it now.
No, go do the one you were gonna do.
That's okay. We'll do it now.
Okay. Christie Lenee, our guest on today's Live Music Showcase. If you have any reactions or comments about the show, you're welcome to get in touch with producer Steve in the on the air studio, and you can call him at 813-239-9663 or send him an email, dj@wmnf.org. And this is WMNF in Tampa. If you're enjoying the show and you believe in live music like we do, might be time to check out the tip jar here at WMNF.org. Leave a tax-deductible contribution. We'd be very happy to hear from you.
All right. Well, this is Ivory Coast from the album Chasing Infinity. This is what I played for the openings the first segment of the competition.
Okay, now if people are following at home, what is this tuned in now? Is this same tuning?
C, G, D, G, A, D. You're testing me to see if I can use this left-hand pattern while I actually tell you the tuning.
I'll let you get on with it. Music from Christie Lenee, our guest on today's live music showcase from WMNF, where support comes from our members and Happy Feet Plus. Since 1985, Happy Feet Plus has been providing healthy footwear solutions, including brands like Birkenstock, Finn Comfort, and Kenko massage sandals. Styles and selections at happyfeet.com. Christie Lenee playing a whole hell of a lot of guitar and winning first prize. And now that was the piece.
That was the one.
Like two parts and.
Yeah, that was the one from the first round, and we'll later do the one from the second round.
Because when people say finger style, you think of boom, 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 boom.
You're right. Yeah.
And so
try to be less traditional.
Yeah,
when
I would say that's definitely less traditional. You're hammering on a lot of stuff there. That's great.
Yeah.
You have the action real low on your guitar, so you can do that.
It is pretty low, but honestly, it's not as low as you would think that it might be, because when it's too low, it starts to buzz. Especially like I have this tuned to a low C.
Yeah.
So if it's on a low C, then it can easily start to rattle the guitar if it's too low. So I like to have it somewhere right in the middle.
Nice and clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
Now, how did you start out playing in this style? I mean, tell me how this evolved in your playing. The hammering on and the special effects and other things like this that make your performance unique.
Well, it's really funny because I do want to give a shout out to my friend Yvonne Gougelet, who's standing behind the camera. She's one of my oldest friends in this world, and we actually grew up together, starting in the acting world in theater. And one day she played me a solo guitar piece by Tim Reynolds, and I said to her, "There's no way that's one guitar." And she's like, "You're not even going to believe this." And so that was really my introduction to this really out of this world solo guitar playing with using effects and stuff. And so I started really getting into the acoustic guitar at that time. I was really mostly playing classical guitar and jazz at that time, and got kind of obsessed with Dave Matthews Band because of her. And then I started doing these gigs, and it was really funny. I did an album called Set It Free, which was released in 2008. And that album, for the CD release party at Skipper's, we had a 10-piece band and a 15-piece choir.
Wow, yeah.
And it was a massive production. And then, not long after I released that album, I moved to Philadelphia. And I wanted to be near a bigger city, and it was really interesting because then all of a sudden I was like, how in the world am I going to play all this music? It was just me, and it wasn't practical to put together a band. And so I started to think if I were to change the tuning of my guitar, I could get some of those low notes. And then I was trying to play some of the bass lines with my right hand and tap the chords. And that became out of necessity of trying to cover multiple parts. And then after that, I was missing the percussion, so then I got a kick drum pedal, which I'm not using today since Mr. JT is here, and I started doing that. Then found that I wanted to tap it on 2 and 4 because I needed a backbeat. So I put the tambourine on my left foot so that I could have a kick and a tambourine. And it's just kind of evolved from there of trying to see how many parts I can cover. And it's always a really incredible gift when there's other musicians there and I can just play one note and kind of sail on top of it. But there's something really fun too about seeing how much noise I can make as one person. So it ends up making it more practical to travel, less hotel rooms to get, and less people to feed. I usually know that my hands and feet will show up to a gig, so that's pretty cool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, unless something drastic happens, you never know.
Christie Lenee is our guest on today's live music showcase here from WMNF. You can watch last 3 years of live music showcases on YouTube. We've got our own WMNF channel. Just search for Live Music Showcase on WMNF in the YouTube search box, and you'll get it soon enough and see some incredible performances from the last 3 years. But right now we've got Christie and her partner Jonathan Thomas on the percussions live in the studio. And I'd love to hear another song.
Awesome. Well, I do want to invite anybody who's watching this to check out my Facebook page and website. I did this music video just not too long ago, and it was one of the most exciting artistic pieces that I've ever been a part of. There's a little puppet in there, and it tells a story that is really special. And it's a song that I wrote at a time of being very lost and not really knowing where my next move was. And I realized that I felt empty because I'd left a lot of pieces of myself in different parts of the road, and I needed to feel wholesome again and kind of re-nourish myself and bring it back in. So I wrote this song to call back in all those pieces of myself that I left in old relationships and old stuff, and so that I could be whole again. This is called Call My Heart Back Home. Shadows on single star still in the sky. I am looking for direction. I am asking
Beautiful piece. Beautiful
Thank
piece. That's Christie Lenee on her guitar. We've got Jonathan Thomas on the percussions. Today, Christie's our guest, and this is the Live Music Showcase from WMNF in Tampa. I'm Bill Dudley. Mark Perfetti doing the audio portion of our program today, assisted by Dr. Richard Stone. The video, which you can be watching right now on Facebook, just go to Facebook and type in LMS WMNF. You can see this show live. The video is directed by Bob Hoke, and today on cameras we've got Marcy Connors, Yvonne Gougelet, and Mrs. Lockdown's son Larry on the third camera. Steve Arduengo, our show's producer. We're always happy to hear feedback about the show. You can send us an email at livemusic@wmnf.org, or you can call Steve in the control room at 813-239-9663, or send him an email at dj@wmnf.org.
Excellent.
So what was the story around when you decided to pick and sing for a living?
Oh, wow.
Is that a deep subject? Or?
Well, it started.
I mean, you were working in your dad's loan company in Sheboygan, right?
No, I was on a journey as a classical guitarist, actually.
Oh, you were going to actually make a living with music from the start.
I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just knew that I was in love with it.
Uh-huh.
And I needed to study it and learn everything that I could. But originally, I wanted to be an actress and do movies and maybe Broadway. And it was actually, a big thanks to my friend Yvonne again, because when I was introduced to Dave Matthews Band, I got an acoustic guitar, and ironically, I'd been studying Bach and all these really profound classical pieces, and I studied rock and roll on my own, just playing electric guitar to albums and stuff, but Dave Matthews was really my first real introduction to acoustic guitar.
How did you run into those guys? They live in Virginia, right?
Oh, I didn't run into him. I mean, I was just introduced to his music, and I went to a concert. And I'd always loved to sing. I loved poetry. I loved to write and journal. Loved playing guitar. I didn't really know how it would all come together ever, and until I went to my first Dave Matthews Band concert, and I was standing right there in the center watching him, and there was a moment when he was looking out and the lights hit his eyes in this certain way, and it was like the world just froze, and it was just him and I. There was nobody else there.
Oh man,
and
what a great memory.
I mean, that's what I felt. Of course, there were thousands of people behind me, and I saw the light hit his eyes, and I just saw this most incredible, beautiful sense of gratitude that he had. And I thought to myself, man, like, imagine how it must feel to write music that makes people feel this good. It brings a community of people together, and they all show up here to experience this feeling that I'm having right now, and I had that thought, and the moment that I thought that, he looked right at me, and his eyes really just penetrated into my soul, and it was that moment when I said, oh my God, I have to write songs. And it was everything that I'd ever loved in my life became one right in that moment. And I never stopped since, and that was the moment. Really.
Did you get to meet Dave eventually?
Well, I've actually been able to develop a great relationship with Tim Reynolds, his guitar player. We've played probably, 20 plus shows together, played together. I did meet Dave once over a glass of wine in a hotel lobby after their Philadelphia show once. It was a very short, about 10-minute interaction. He's a very funny, sweet guy.
Well, I hope you told him what your experience was.
I didn't. I wasn't expecting to meet him that day, and I was sitting there having a glass of wine with Tim, and all of a sudden Dave was standing next to me, and I was kind of like, oh. I didn't want to turn into fangirl, so I stood there as his colleague. That's always a problem. And held a nice space for him and his guitar player to have a glass of wine and just be a normal human. And Tim introduced me to him, and we hugged, and and that was it. I thought maybe I could tell him one day, but that wasn't the moment,
Yeah.
So
send him an email.
Yeah, maybe he'll get it. We'll see. So I want to play for you guys the title track on my most recent album, Stay. This is a song that I wrote with the intention to hopefully catch someone in a moment of struggle and say that you're not alone when these moments of struggle happen. And if you ever feel like you're alone, just take a deep breath and know that whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to get past it. And instead of trying to run away from the problem, just to be with it. The song's called Stay. So cold, your heart feels like stone frozen. Tears shatter to the bone. Light a fire, find your way back home. Take a breath, you're not in this alone. Tiptoe to the edge, looking down. Silent cry 'cause you think no one is around. Stop now, it's only life to choose. You're the only one that can be. Stand right where you are. Touch your hands to your heart. Feel love embrace. Stand right where you are. Open your mouth and taste how it feels to stay. Stay, please stay, just stay, please stay. Stay, please stay. You'll find your way. Battleground, you can't see through the haze. Blink your eyes and the smoke will dissipate. Hold on to love, you'll make it through. You're the only one that can be you. Stand right where you are. Touch your hands to your heart. Feel love embrace. Stand right where you are. Open your mouth and taste how it feels to stay. Stay, please stay, just stay, please stay. Stay, please stay, just stay, please stay. Please stay. You'll find your way. You'll find your way. Do you know you shine a special light? Close your eyes, take a breath and look inside. Let the warmth of your heart ease your pain. You'll find your way. stand right where you are. Touch your hands to your heart. Feel love embrace. Stand right where you are. Open your mouth and taste how it feels to stay. Please stay, just stay. Please stay, stay. Please stay, just stay. You're the only one, the only one, 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 you're the only one. Stay now, you'll find your way. Stay. You're the only one that can be you.
Very powerful song.
Thank you very much.
Christie Lenee, our guest on today's live music showcase from WMNF. This is a program that happens every Friday afternoon at 2:06 right here. You can watch our old shows on our YouTube channel. You can watch us live on Facebook at LMS WMNF. You can listen to us on the archive at WMNF, or if you got the WMNF app on your phone. And we appreciate you being out there in Radio Land listening to our show here. Mark Perfetti mixing it up today, assisted by Richard Stone, Bob Hoke, Marcy Connors, Yvonne Gougelet, our TV crew today. Steve Arduengo produces this here show. And Christy is accompanied by Jonathan Thomas. And she's going to be in town. She's in town. She is in town for the weekend, and she's going to be playing at the Jabe Theater in Tampa at the Straz Center on Sunday, right?
Sunday, November 18th. Yeah.
What's the time on that?
7:30.
Sunday evening
Yeah.
at the Straz, at the Jabe.
And once again, we're doing a food drive to support families on Thanksgiving in partnership with Metropolitan Ministries. So bring non-perishable items.
Bring a can of
clothes,
peas.
toys. Yeah, a can of peas. And we'll be in there together like peas in a pod. Just kidding. We've got one more song for you, and because it tends to get a little long.
I want to end with music playing. So if there's still time, why don't you just launch into an instrumental and we'll fade out on that.
Yeah.
Of course, the people on Facebook and YouTube will get to hear the whole song, but they'll fade you out for the news.
And what time will they fade out? They'll fade at 3, right?
Yeah, we've actually got, it's 54, so that means we got 7 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Well, we want to do for you the title track of the EP that I've been working on, and there's a music video that was just shot, most of it out in Red Rocks in Colorado, and a bunch of incredible panoramic views.
Boy, that's an
of
amazing
mountains.
place, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. So we shot this video. It was with the same videographer, filmmaker that I did the video for Call My Heart Back Home, and I cried the other day when I saw the first cut, because I'm really excited about releasing this track and getting it out to the world. And it's a song to say that, you know, we belong to everywhere, not just one place, and we're all in this together in this crazy world that we live in. They'll say, where are you from? And I say, I'm just a citizen of the universe. How about that? So this is the song that goes with it, and it's featuring some of my favorite musicians in the world on the track, and one of my favorite musicians in the world is getting to play it with me now, Mr. Jonathan Thomas. So thank you guys for listening and watching, and hello to everyone streaming with us.
And thank you, Christie Lenee, for being on our live music showcase today.
Let's jam it. Planet Earth, I belong to the universe. Got a body made of flesh and bones. Got a past that I'm free to roam. Climb the stairs, make my way to the stars above. I'm a member in the state of love. I'm moving at the speed of light. Got a ticket to paradise. Of